Well, I was going to ask you what you think the likelihood is that it's going to rain, but I just felt like a drip. Oh dear, it is forecast to rain, but the optimist inside me was like, no, let's just go anyway and see what happens. The optimist inside me is still like, let's just go and see what happens, even if it starts raining, because hopefully in Worcester, which is where we are today, there might be some rainy day shelter type busking pitch somewhere down on the main high street. The city of Worcester, we are here. That is the place. This is the place in England that looks really hard to pronounce. It's like an impossible looking word. What is that? Ye old English. Who thought that that was a good idea? Just making life complicated for completely unnecessary reasons, but at least it, you know, has a story behind it. You know, when I first started making videos about busking specifically, I had this idea where I thought, I'll go to new places and I'll make busking guides. I'll travel the country, I'll travel the world, and everywhere I go I'll make like a video on how to busk in that place. And I did for a while. You know, I used to go through all the council rules, I used to go through recommended pitches, and I used to give the place like a review, like a score of how good I felt it was for busking. But somewhere along the line I realised that perhaps it wasn't quite as effective as I thought it'd be. And I thought about why that might be. And I realised it's a bit like the analogy about teaching somebody to fish. You know, you can catch someone a fish and they'll have lunch for the day. Or you can teach them to fish and they'll have lunch for the rest of their life. There are a few fundamental principles when it comes to busking that once you learn, you don't really need to know anything else. You don't need to know specifics. If you know the overall code of conduct of how to handle yourself in a respectful and kind manner, if you know how to project good energy through your music or art in the street, and you know what to look out for when it comes to busking pitches, you're set. You can do anything. You can do everything. You will have dinner for the rest of your life. You'll be catching those metaphorical fish wherever you go, including here in Worcester. That is, of course, that it doesn't rain and there is no rainy day pitch. Right, we better get on with it. Let's go and check out Worcester for the first time. Well, here's the light rain that was forecasted. We'll see how light it is. I can't believe it's already raining. Shocking. I thought I'd at least have like an hour before it started properly. And we've just made it to the high street. Or this main road anyway. The pedestrian only real estate. Oh, there's some shelter here. Oh, I reckon we've got a spot, you know. Oh, that's good. Oh, could go under here for sure. Under where there's a artisan food hall coming soon could be the prime busking pitch for Worcester in the rain. It might be worth walking down the high street anyway, having another look, see if there's anywhere else, but I think that might have to be the spot today. Oh, now it's proper raining. Right, let's get under this shelter and have a little more assessment. I was going to take a little browse of the street then, but the rain has picked up so much that I think I'm better off just going back to that spot. I don't reckon we've got many other options. So on a day like today, it's quite easy to figure out where you're going to set up, because the rain has given us the sign. So now we get confronted by the choice of waiting it out for a bit, seeing if it subsides, or setting up under here, which could be fun, but there's also loads of people under here. Some of them are charity workers and doing other things.
And this, my friends, is where I should have just stopped overthinking and instead set up. You see, there were 2 charity workers and a group of preachers under the shelter. For some reason, that made me question the idea of setting up under the shelter, and I decided instead to take a look around Worcester city centre despite the rain. And I got soaked. My camera got soaked, my gear got soaked, everything was soaked. Even after 4 whole years of doing this, and up until recently on a more or less full-time basis, I still fill up with anxiety and overthink it all, every single time. I wandered around for about 20 minutes or so and found one other potential rainy day pitch, but it didn't have as much foot flow and just wasn't as good as the soon-to-be artisan food hall's shelter. I then bumped into a lady called June, who told me she was a musician alongside her husband, who sometimes busks in the town. She told me that the soon-to-be artisan food hall, which actually used to be the home store Debenhams, is the main pitch in Worcester, come rain or shine. That's where the local buskers go. So, much like the shepherd in The Alchemist, I ended up back where I'd started to find my treasure. Isn't that always the way?
I am back where I first decided would be a good place to set up. And we're going to set up here. Oh dear, sometimes I exert way too much energy. Unnecessary energy. This is meant to be a video about how to find a good busking spot no matter where you go. The conclusion so far is to dilly-dally around for like an hour before you finally decide to actually just set up and go. Shocking. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. It's a long way of getting wet and questioning yourself and doubting yourself and wondering whether you're really doing the right thing. And eventually you just say, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to do it anyway.
She said, boy, gotta get out here. Can't be out dealing with this place and all these people. Lockdown gonna get me down. A salty breeze that sets me free. It's all I really need, yeah. Boy, gotta get out of here.
Well, as per usual, I think the universe had my back because setting up under here has been a very good idea because it has not stopped raining. In fact, it's got heavier and heavier, which weirdly hasn't reduced the foot flow whatsoever, which is crazy. The people of Worcester are hardened, seasoned for the rain. Classic Midlands. It's good stuff, man.
Babe, I'll jump into the sea, yeah. Tell me which way to the beach. I say, I need to get out of here. I really like reggae, yet here I'm singing. Lockdown gonna get me down.
I sort of accidentally did all the things that I was going to recommend you do when you look for a spot, actually. I just was having a bit of a crisis of confidence. I wasn't really thinking straight whilst I was doing it, but, you know, I perused, I had a look around. I even asked a local, or a local started talking to me and told me where to go. I could have looked it up on YouTube, which is what I usually do. Ultimately, the weather decided, and it's clearly decided right, which is cool.
So I'll ride the wave, I'll miss wave, I'll jump into the sea, yeah. Tell me which way to the beach. But now there's nowhere else to go.
Dude, it's now absolutely chucking it down. It's gone from like light rain to torrential rain. There are still people out and about, which is crazy. Rainy day busks are never as good as a sunny busk. They can be, but generally speaking, you aren't going to make as much donation wise because there aren't as many people out, and the people that are out are usually rushing from one place to the next, trying to get under shelter, trying to get to the coffee shop, trying to get to the shop, to the bank, wherever they're going. So I'm definitely feeling that.
I'll ride the wave, I'll miss babe, I'll jump into the sea, yeah. Hey, tell me which way to the beach, oh. Tell me which way to the beach. Tell me which way to the beach. No, tell me which way to the beach.
I'm also feeling a bit out of it. I had a very strong coffee earlier. It's giving me a bit too much adrenaline. which is probably why I had a bit of a crisis of confidence when I arrived here. Should have just set up here when I first got here. This is a really cool busking spot though. Boarded up shop. There's seating in front of me. It's pedestrian only. That's like the top 3 ingredient. That's like everything you want from a busking spot. Even the shelter, the fact that you can come here in any weather is very cool.
They came to me, saw you always slept easy, then maybe I would think through the night. If I could have every rain cloud that ever pour down on your head, if them raining on me meant that you'd get the sunshine, then baby I would always be with you. And I know, yes I know that you do. And I know, yet I struggle to show it to you.
Dude, this rain is like, should you bother playing any longer? Oh dear. I'm gonna carry on playing because at least playing gets rid of the adrenaline a little bit, makes me feel a bit less jittery. Shouldn't drink such strong coffee before coming busking. Lesson learned.
If me crossing land I meant that you'd get the good, my baby would be full of doodle. And I know, yes I know that you do. And I know, yeah, the struggle to show it to you. And I know, yes I know, but using words is too tough when I'm trying to find a way that tells you I love you enough.
Oh, did I just see lightning? Oh dear, busking in a storm now. Blimey, it's absolutely torrential, dude. And there are plenty of people out still, but they have no time for me. But I've got all the time for the music in the world. I don't want to get wet. If I leave this spot, I get soaked. So like, just carry on playing. That's all I could think to do.
If I could only make you wet, don't even know where to start. The dreams of the sunshine and a life full of cold, none of the words are enough. And I know, yes I know that you do, yeah.
In some ways I am so relieved that I ended up under this spot. I can actually play under here without getting wet at all, despite it being torrential rain. In other ways, if this was like a normal day of busking, if this was like one of the days where I'd just come out busking just for the sake of busking, not to make a video and not the fact that I'm in Worcester for the first time, I would probably go home. But home is currently 3 hours away in the car. I'm here anyway because I played a theatre show last night. It was rad. The Swan Theatre, shout out if you were there. The crowd were really friendly last night. So my only choice feels like just to carry on playing.
Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Every step in life's a dance. You do the waltz, I do the cha-cha. Now, follow your feet, give them a chance. Step out of them and suddenly you're out.
I'm not making any donations, but that's okay. I'm getting a good rehearsal in. I'm getting to play music outside in the rain. That's not often you get to do that. I am joined by the local, probably the local people that don't have anywhere to go in the rain. Let's put it that way. But that's okay. Hopefully they enjoy the music.
And do the dance. And do the dance. No, no, no. Forget all you learned in school. They train you up to dance like a four-star. Put on your fairy dancing shoes. Show everybody now all they are. So long, a little longer. Hold on, a little more.
You might ask me, how do I stay motivated to keep keep playing in a situation where it's clear that it's not really working. What I try to do is I try to imagine I'm somewhere else. I try to imagine I'm like on the pyramid stage in Glastonbury, and there's a sea of folk just watching what I'm doing. I imagine myself on like that you know, when they cover Glastonbury on the BBC and you get to watch the live sets. I imagine like it coming up at the bottom with August Radio Project as like the little headline, and I just play as if I'm there.
Every step loves her dance. You do the waltz, I do the cha-cha. Now hold on a little longer.
I also like to concentrate on how singing and playing actually makes me feel. You know, it's the same as like when I'm rehearsing. It still feels good just to exert your voice and project energy out there, regardless if anyone's watching or not. So I just focus on all that, and that helps me play. I also think, look, what I'm doing here is really funny because this is technically my job. And back in the day when the busking donations meant a lot to me, you know, back when I was using them as my main source of income, this would have felt a lot more, it would have felt like a lot more pressure, and it probably would have felt a bit more detrimental, let's use that word. But these days, because busking donations aren't my main source of income, the theatre show and gigs and even Patreon and YouTube make up a really good chunk, so I don't have to worry. So it just makes a situation like this almost hilarious. It feels like, what am I doing?
You can live in a van, take a flight out, escape the riot. So when a factory becomes home, and inside the machine is all that you know. You'll be spending saving, riding your buggy leg. Oh hey, hey. Now a universe from nothing inside my mind, it is on fire. Oh.
I know a lot of you appreciated my video when I was in York the other week, where I found it really hard to get a busking pitch and ended up walking around for about 3 hours before I did. I had a lot of comments on that saying thank you for sharing these like realities of busking. So I guess today is another reality of busking. Sometimes you're going to set up and it's going to chuck it down. Mother Nature will have other ideas.
Where did I go? When red becomes air, this is going to hurt. You know, you're a millionaire. Rich and I know the time you said that it's for real.
Not only does that affect the busk, but it does get everything kind of wet, and most musical equipment is not designed to be, or it isn't designed to have water near it. So it's always a good idea to have equipment that isn't so precious to you. I know a lot of the acoustic buskers who don't use amps are very smug about the fact that they can play in the rain and get very wet. They all use something like a cheap acoustic guitar and they can just play in the rain. I don't know how worth it that is though.
This factory is not my home, and inside the machine it's just not for me. No spending my savings, 'cause I don't have any. There's too many places to go. So I'll be spending all my time living on my bucket list, yeah.
I suppose it depends how much fun you're having. If you find that a lot of fun, then yeah, probably is worth it. Anyway, right, I need to pack up. I'm chatting rubbish now. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, I can see the car. Oh dear.
Woohoo! I did it! Oh. You know, my favourite YouTuber, one of my all-time inspirations is Casey Neistat. Like the godfather of vlogging. He had a daily vlog that went on for like 900 days and I watched every single day. I loved that. I loved that vlog so much, and it to this day is inspiring me to make videos like this. It's why I carry the camera on the Gorilla Pod, and instead of using a phone I use a camera. It's all down to Casey. But Casey has this episode in one of his vlogs where he goes through this phrase ABC. And ABC stands for always be closing. It's from a film. And always be closing means, like, if you start something, always finish it. Never give up halfway through. Because even if you finish it and it's rubbish and you hate it, like a video, or you know, you go somewhere to busk and it looks like it's not going to be a good day, still ABC, always be closing. Set up, play, do what you can, and then finish. Don't give up beforehand. It might seem crazy and it might seem like a waste of time, but I think days like today are the days that build your character. They make you so resilient, and it makes those days where the weather is nice and everything goes smoothly and you set up, you find the spot straight away. It makes those days so easy. This is my message in this video. ABC, man. Always be closing. Oh, right. I'm gonna hand you to future me. A less wet future me. And I'm gonna drive back to Brighton. See you in Brighton. Typical that it would be the nicest, sunniest day today, and the video you've just watched was filmed yesterday. But ABC, always be closing. We got the job done. Just about. This video started off as something and finished as something else, but I think that's okay. Creativity is not a muse to be steered. It's a muse to steer us. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself for this one. Thank you so much for watching it. Give it a like if you did. Like for the torrential downpour. Subscribe if you're new around here. You can leave me an online donation using the super thanks button, or if you're feeling more committed, I do have a Patreon page. Monthly donation in exchange for exclusive content. Fun stuff coming soon. I'm writing a book. It's getting there. I'm going to be saying that for at least a few more videos before anything concrete comes out of it. But in the meantime, I do have an album, which is very much concrete. It's out only on my website. You can buy a CD or a digital download. If you buy the CD, you will get the digital download. The CD, the album, is not on Spotify or other streaming platforms. You can only get it from me. So if you want to hear that, then head to my shop on my website. Dang, thank you so much for being here. I am so grateful that you spend your time watching these videos. It means the frickin' world to me. It honestly does. And your comments and messages are so kind every week. I will see you next Monday. Every single Monday there's a video from me. August Radio Project. Peace, love, and happiness.